talk about our Shine Shades Clear. Shine Shades Clear is an unpigmented version of the Shine Shades color. It can be added to your cream color or your Shine Shades color to dilute the intensity. It can also be used to create our Demi Permanent, and we can use it by itself with 10 volume just for clear gloss and shine. If you look at the very bottom on the left-hand side where it states clear, the clear is mixed equal parts with 10 volume generator, and it will process at room temperature for 15 minutes. And that's our timing for our clear. Again, we have permanent, demi-permanent, semi-permanent, tone, and treatment. Most color services are going to process in 30 minutes or less, depending on the formulation. And when it comes to mixing, when mixing the standard series, you're going to mix it the same way that we mix our Chi Cream color. It's going to be 1 part color to 1 part generator. And then we have an example, 1 part Shine Shades, 1 in with 1 part Shine Shades color generator. When we're making our natural gray coverage, it's going to be mixed the same way as we mix our Coverage Plus. 1 part Shine Shades liquid color to 1 part 20 volume. An example would be 1 part 54W to 1 part 20 volume generator. And when you make a permanent formulation, it's going to have hydrogen peroxide at the level that it's supposed to be to live in the hair long enough to give you the saturation of color that you desire. You might want to take notes here if you have something to write on when we talk about mixing for demi-permanent. We have 2 methods for demi-permanent. Remember, demi-permanent is going to last up to 25 shampoos. The first method for transparent, which is good for blending and also great for toning. You would mix 1 part of your Shine Shades color to 1 part of your Shine Shades clear and 1 part of your 10 volume generator. Equal parts of all 3 of these will give you a demi-permanent formulation that you can tone with or use it for blending. It will create a 7 volume generator out of your 10 volume generator, so we can live in the hair long enough to give you a demi-permanent result. An example would be 1 ounce of 10B, 1 ounce of clear, and 1 ounce of 10 volume Chi color generator. Method 2 is for more intense results, and there's another company out there that has a demi-permanent that everyone likes, and I'm not going to say the name because you probably know who it is, but this demi-permanent color that's out there gives intense dye load to the hair. So ours is going to do the same thing, but I believe it's a lot shinier. So method 2, you're going to mix 2 parts color to 1 part 10 volume generator. You will not use any clear because clear dilutes. Remember, method 1 is going to cut your dye load down by 1/3. Method 2, you're going to get intense dye load because you're using 2 parts color to 1 part 10 volume generator. Still, the combination of the ingredients are going to make a 7 volume generator out of your 10 volume generator, making it perfect to create demi-permanent results. An example at the bottom would be 2 parts Shine Shades 6RV to 1 part 10 volume generator. The additives can be added to all your formulas, whether it's permanent, demi-permanent, or semi-permanent. When we are making semi-permanent, we create it the same way we always have with our glaze. We use semi-permanent when we want to create a semi-permanent formula for gentle or mild toning and also for blending. How do you make it? 1 part color, 1 part 10 volume generator, and 1 part color lock. When you mix these 3 ingredients together, it will create a less intense color because you're cutting that color dye load down by 1/3, and it's going to be a 5 volume generator, which is perfect for semi-permanent color results. I will say that if you're making a semi-permanent formula or you're making a demi-permanent formula, Make sure you follow manufacturer's instructions and use exactly the products they state that you use. Use your color lock treatment with your semi. Use your clear with your Demi. Do not substitute those for any other products, or it could affect where your volume of hydrogen peroxide is. I strongly suggest that you mix this in on a scale, or if you're using a bottle, use your measurement lines on your bottle and be precise. When it comes time to remove our color from our hair, since we're using a color that's based on MEA, MEA color is a little bit different than ammonia color, meaning that some of the levels of color actually have a pH lower than water. And if you want to have long-lasting color results, you want to remove the color with the following procedure. First of all, you want to add a little warm water to the hair and emulsify that color very well. At this point, you want to massage any stains that are on the hairline, because that's when that stain and that stain is softest, the skin's still soft. Massage, get that stain off the hair at that time. After you have massaged the stains away from the hairline, top of ears and nape, continue to emulsify that color through the hair. If you're doing just a new growth retouch and you gently emulsify that color through the entire hair, you will give the hair a mini refresh on the ends. And often that's all you need during a root retouch or new growth retouch. I say that because I have seen where a guest will come in and they will get a new growth retouch, and then the stylist will pull that leftover color through the mid shaft and ends, or they will make a glaze and put it on the ends when it isn't necessary. What happens if you pull that color through the ends on every retouch, or you glaze on every retouch? The color will build up on top of itself, layer after layer after layer, and it will start getting darker in the mid shaft and ends, and it won't look very pretty or natural. And understand, the color is non-progressive. What's causing this darkness is layer upon layer of artificial dye on top of artificial dye repeatedly. So if you want to do just a quick refresh, this is the time to do it during the emulsification process. So again, we're going to add a little warm water. We're going to massage that color mixture through the hair. We're going to emulsify. We're going to take care of any stains on the skin. Then we're going to rinse. And we're going to rinse until that water runs clear to help retain color and eliminate premature fading. So you want to rinse, rinse, rinse. And I know how difficult that is with your reds. But if you apply any shampoo to that hair and you see anything other than clear bubbles, you're not through rinsing. You want to rinse, rinse, rinse. Use warm water. Be very thorough. Let the guests know, I've got to really rinse this well, so I'm going to get you comfortable and bear with me. Rinse very well. Then you're going to shampoo with your Chi Infra shampoo. After you've shampooed the hair, rinse it very well. Gently towel dry the hair and apply your color lock treatment for 5 minutes. Color lock treatment is not an instant conditioner. It must stay on the hair for 5 minutes. It needs to be applied to towel dried hair. The reason why is you need to think of it as a neutralizer for your color. So if you had someone that came in for a permanent wave, after you rinse their waving lotion out, wouldn't you towel dry and block those rods very well before you applied your neutralizer? Wouldn't you leave your neutralizer on for a full 5 minutes? If you don't do these steps, you're not going to have a good curl formation. So by gently towel drying the hair and applying that color lock and working it through that hair very well, setting your timer for 5 minutes is going to ensure that you're going to have less opportunity for premature fading. And if you're doing this, your color looks prettier than anyone else's in the salon, because if you got someone that you work with that is just squeezing the moisture out right after the shampoo and running this color lock through and then rinsing it right off, their guest hair is not as shiny, it doesn't have the luster, it doesn't have the combability, It just doesn't have that finish on it that you get with Color Lock when it's used correctly. So after you've rinsed your Color Lock treatment out, apply a few drops of Silk Infusion. Silk Infusion contains several different types of proteins that are going to help bond with that hair, and it's also a great thermal protector, believe it or not. Okay, this is our comparison chart, and we really want to look at columns 1 and 2. Chi Ionic Permanent Shine Cream Color is a category of a cream color, and as all of you know, when you're working with our cream color, you've got to lay that color on the front side and the back side of that hair. If you miss any spots, you won't get any color deposit. Another thing about the cream color, it's going to be vibrant. It's very opaque, which means it covers everything when you formulate it correctly. And you're going to have less of a natural grow out. Your line of demarcation is going to be noticeable. Actually, that depends on how much lighter or darker your color is from whatever their new growth is. Shine Shades is liquid, and remember I stated you can put it in a bottle and use it that way, or you can apply it with a tint brush out of a bowl. It goes on the hair very wet. It glides on the hair a lot easier. You're going to find you're going to need a little less of it to do the same job. It's going to have less of a natural grow out. I mean, it's going to have more of a natural grow out. And the reason why is that variation of tone in the hair, but you're still going to see a strong line of demarcation when you are making a permanent formulation. Timing for your cream color is 30 to 45 minutes. Timing with your Shine Shades is up to 30 minutes. There will be times where you need to process for 45, but not as often. We have the UL and ULP series in the cream color, but not in the Shine Shades. A question that I get asked often is, can I mix Shine Shades with the ULs and ULPs? And you don't want to do that, and the reason why is your UL and ULP is a high lift color that has a strong alkaline base. If you add any other color to it, you're going to lower that alkalinity, and it may not lift as light as you want to. So with the UL and ULP series, you don't want to add anything to it other than hydrogen peroxide, which is 2 parts 40 volume to 1 part color. And you can use your additives sparingly with your UL and ULP series. Both you can make a permanent color. We don't have a Demi permanent in our cream color, but now we have it with our Shine Shades. We have semi-permanent in both, and toners and glazes, which would be our 1 part color, 1 part color lock to 1 part 10 volume. We have a clear glaze in our Shine Shades, but not in our gray coverage. And of course, we have the high lift in the gray coverage, in the permanent color with our UL and ULP series. We use 10, 20, 30, 40 volume exactly the same way with both lines. 10 volume for 1 level of lift and deposit on anything except gray hair. 20 volume for up to 2 levels of lift and gray coverage. 30 volume for up to 3 levels of lift, and 40 volume for up to 4 levels of lift. Mixing and timing. I know this is what everyone's wanting to know. How do you time this? Well, when you're mixing the standard series, you're going to mix it 1 to 1 with 10, 20, 30, 40 volume, depending on what your desired result is. The temperature can be up to 30 minutes, or you can process it 10 over 10. What I mean by 10 over 10 is 10 minutes under a low heat dryer, 10 minutes at room temp. If you're lifting and you're using heat, if you find after you've done the 10 minutes at room temperature after the 10 at low heat, if it's not light enough, continue your processing time at room temperature. Don't add more heat. Gray coverage is equal parts color to developer. Processing time 30 minutes or up to 45 minutes, or you can process low heat, 10 under a low heat dryer, 10 minutes at room temp. Now, I will tell you that 2 of the models that I tested on, I've been coloring their hair for over 15 years now, and over the past 15 years, they've definitely gotten grayer over time, and I was using Chi Ionic cream color on both of them, and both of them had gotten to the point that I was processing them at room temperature for up to 45 minutes. Both of them I've been testing with the Shine Shades. One, I've used straight shine shades, natural gray coverage. The other one, I mix their formula, half shine shades and half cream. And both of them I processed for 30 minutes, and they've gotten great coverage for what they wanted on both of those. So I'm finding that 30 minutes is often going to be the rule of thumb versus 45. Demi Permanent. For a vibrant shine, you're mixing 1 part color to 2 parts color, 2 to 1, to 1 part 10 volume generator. For a more diluted, for toning and blending, it's going to be equal parts color, 10 volume generator, and clear. You're going to process that up to 30 minutes, or you can use low heat for 10 minutes and room temperature for 10 minutes. The longer you leave your Demi Permanent on, the more it's going to adhere to the hair, but still it can only go so deep at 7 volume. Semi-permanent conditioning glaze we use for mild toning and mild blending. Equal parts color, 10 volume generator, color lock, and it can process up to 15 minutes. Now, if we're toning with the color glaze or we're toning with the Shine Shades Demi Permanent 1-1-1, 1 part color, 1 part generator, 1 part clear, you may find you will be processing up to 15 minutes, but sometimes you will find that you're not going to be processing very long at all, depending on how porous that hair is and how much you need to neutralize the tone that's in the hair. When we're toning pale blondes, often we will towel dry their hair at the shampoo bowl and apply our tone mixture there, because we need a little bit of moisture in the hair at that time because of the porosity of the hair. Otherwise, our color is always applied on dry hair. You'll find sometimes you need to dry that hair 100% for your toner because there's so much warmth that needs to be removed. So use your professional judgment on your toning time and whether the hair needs to be slightly damp or whether it needs to be 100% dry. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the beginning and I'm going to do a quick recap of everything I've covered with you, and then I'm going to open up for question and answers. So if you do not have a microphone, you can type your questions in the chat box and I will read that question out and I will answer it for everyone, because everyone, some of you will think of questions that others won't. So it's a good education for us to share those. One more thing I want to mention before I go to the beginning of this is when you're using a processing cap with hair color, the only time the processing cap should be on the hair is when you're using low heat. And that will keep your hydrogen peroxide from drying out so that the hair will continue to process. After you've finished your 10 minutes low heat timing, take your guest out from underneath the dryer, remove that processing cap, and let them continue to process at room temperature. If it's a room temperature for the entire process, do not cap that hair, lift it up off the head, because you want that circulation. You want that hair to oxidize well. So keep that hair open and uncovered throughout the process with the cream color and the shine shades, unless you're putting them under the dryer. So a quick little recap before I open for question and answers. Again, it is a PDS color. It's for permanent, demi-permanent, and semi-permanent. It's also known as a 5-in-1 because not only can we do those 3 things, we can also tone and make a glossifying treatment. It may be used as a standalone color, or you can mix it with your cream color for even more options. Contains color lock complex that will keep your color 30% longer. Contains silk, olive oil, Brazilian nut oil, and aloe. We have the Chi ceramic color technology in both lines, the liquid and the cream. Again, it is a MEA-based color, monoethanolamine, 1 corn alcohol. It does not have a varying pH. The pH stays consistent throughout the process. So if you leave it on longer than you need to, it won't go darker on you and the tone won't change. It will become a conditioning color. 59 shades, 5 additives, and 1 clear. As I stated, the additives will be mixed by the capful, and 1 capful is equivalent to 1 ribbon inch of our cream color additives. We use the same generators, 10, 20, 30, 40. They're mixed the same 1-to-1 with all your formulations for permanent color. Permanent color will last until it grows out and leave a line of demarcation. Demi-permanent color will last up to 25 shampoos. Semi-permanent color will last up to 12 shampoos. Again, touch base on Chi Keratin Mist. When you're using keratin mist, you want to lightly mist it on the hair, comb it through, and make sure it is 100% dry in that hair before you apply your color over it. And we do have our silver, but we don't have double ash in there. I don't think I mentioned that to you. We don't have double ash in the standard series in the shine shades. Gray coverage can be used on hair that's 50% or more gray. And if someone has really white gray hair, you probably want to stay with your cream color because you want to make sure you get really good coverage. We mix our clear at the very bottom for just gloss and shine. Equal parts with 10 volume generator. It processes on the hair for 15 minutes. When you remove this, you're going to remove it the same way you do color. You're going to go ahead and rinse it really, really well, and you're going to shampoo it and rinse, towel dry, and color lock, just like you would with hair color. Standard series is mix equal parts color to generator. Natural gray coverage is mix equal parts color to 20 volume generator. We have 2 formulas for Demi Permanent. One would be good for toning and for transparent blending. Equal parts color, clear, and generator. Method 2 for more intense color results like that other company's Demi Permanent color would be 2 parts Chi Ionic Shades liquid color to 1 part 10 volume generator. To make a glaze, which is good for mild toning and for slight blending, 1 part color, 1 part 10 volume, and 1 part color lock treatment. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open this up for questions. I'm going to go back to the beginning of my presentation in case there's anything that we want to see. And I don't see that anyone's typed anything in the chat box. So if you do not have a microphone, please feel free to type any questions that you have down in the chat box. Also in the chat box, if you don't have a microphone, would you let us know so that I don't unmute you? I just unmuted Auburndale. I'm waiting to see if they have a microphone, and I don't see it happening yet. Unless Auburndale has muted themselves on their side. I'll wait just a moment to see if they're going to pop up here, and if they don't, I will go ahead and I will mute them again, and I will go to Denise Bone next.
I unmuted us.
Okay, Auburndale.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi there, this is Auburndale. Can we help you with a question?
How many shampoos did you say for the semi-permanent?
Up to 12.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Is that the only question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, Auburndale. I'm going to go ahead and mute you guys and go to Denise Bone.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Denise, I have you unmuted. Can you hear us?
I can, and right now I'm good. I'm listening.
Okay, great. No questions? Thank you.
None.
I'm going to unmute Plant City, and we'll see if they have any questions. I have Plant City unmuted. We'll see if they have a microphone. They'll pop right up here if they do. There we go. Plant City, do you have any questions?
Give us 1 second.
Okay.
I have a question. Can you do a semi after you perm?
You can do a semi-permanent after permanent color after a perm. In fact, that's really the only one you should use after a permanent wave. And the reason why is that hydrogen peroxide is so low. Plus, make sure that when you finish it, though, that you do go through and color lock it again. But semi-permanent is the only thing that we recommend that you do after a permanent wave, as far as hair color goes on the same day. So that's a very good question.
Okay, so you can do it on the same day.
Correct.
But you're not supposed to shampoo the perm. Do you just rinse the semi, or is it okay to go ahead and shampoo it?
You're still going to shampoo it, but the thing is you're using Chi Infra shampoo, and it just so happens to be sulfate free. So you're going to be okay with that. The best thing to do is not to do anything after the permanent wave. But if you have to add any color to the hair, the safest one to use is your semi-permanent mixture.
Okay. Okay. Do you guys have any more questions?
That's about pricing, but
I think that changes per location.
It does.
I think that's all for us.
Okay, thank you. Lisa, you're like 3 down. Just hang on and I'll unmute you, Lisa. Just hang on. I'm going to go to Jamie now.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see if Jamie has a microphone. Jamie, I have you unmuted, so if you have a microphone, you should pop up any moment here for us. Okay, she's not popping up, so I'm going to go ahead and Jamie, if you do have any questions, you can type them down in the chat box and I'll make sure I cover them. I'm going to go ahead and mute Jamie and go to Kelly. Kelly, I have you unmuted, but I'm not seeing that you have a microphone, so I'm going to go ahead. Oh, Kelly popped up. Kelly, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am. I'm also from Auburndale.
Oh, okay.
No, thank you.
Thank you. Let me mute you. Okay, Lisa, you're next. Hang on. Lisa, are you there?
I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. Before we were told that the keratin mist was not supposed to be an everyday product, like you were saying they can use it for everyday leave-in because it was damaging some hair by adding too much protein. So are you saying now that it is okay to use as an everyday regimen?
It was actually reformulated several years back, but I remember when we did that.
Okay.
I've been with the company for 15 years, so I know exactly what you're talking about, Lisa. So in most cases, it's not just keratin protein. There's soy protein, corn protein, and wheat protein in there, and it's the keratin protein by itself that causes that crunchiness. There's a lot of other ones in there. So generally speaking, it can be used as a leave-in.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Any other questions, Lisa, before I move down?
No, ma'am, that was it.
Okay, thank you. Priscilla, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to unmute you. And let's see if you have a microphone. And if you do, if you have any questions, I'll be able to assist you, hopefully. And then after that, I have Sam to unmute, and that's going to be it for us. And as I stated before, if you don't have a microphone, you can very well go down and type a question in the bottom, and I'll take care of it for you. So I'm going to see if Sam has a microphone. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I don't see that Sam has a microphone or Priscilla, and they're not typing any questions. What I will do is I'm going to put my email address back up here for you. And I would really appreciate it if you would email me and give me your name, your salon name, and your owner's name so that I can make sure that you get credit for attending today. And that is joanne.raytron@me.com. It's right here. I'll put my cursor on it. JOANN.RAYTRON@me.com. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon with me, and happy coloring, you guys. Bye.